Okay, so Trina, I have known Trina many years. We met in person. Was it 9 years ago, Trina? I would say 9. I think
Probably.
9 or 10 years ago. 9 years, I think, because I've been in the business 10.
Because it would have been a director academy, I think, where it was like for real in person. So yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So we've known each other a while. We are both under, so just so you guys know, our national executive is Carol Verdu. If you guys see me post stuff about her and trainings and everything stuff. So Trina is also under Carol. So we're kind of like sister directors because we both are under the same upline. So kind of like some of you are sister directors because you are under me. So similar things. So Trina and I, am I supposed to admit you again? Do I need to admit you again?
Yes, sorry, yeah.
I was like, I see I need to admit you. Okay, hold on.
I'll explain in a second.
Okay, we're gonna admit Trina again. So but I'm really excited. She used to be a teacher as well, and she taught along Pampered. I quit teaching and started Pampered Chef. And so she was still teaching while doing Pampered Chef for a while. And then her goal was to be able to quit teaching and be able to do Pampered Chef full time. And she was able to do that. So she is absolutely amazing. And you will love listening to her speak. We are very similar in a lot of ways, but we are also different. Is she still on here? Are you still here, Trina? Okay, I can't see you on my screen anymore. So
sorry, I'm throwing you for a loop.
Oh, we got
your toes. I'm at the beach now.
She was like, forget the snow that's coming. I'm going to the beach. All right, so Trina, take it away, sister. We want to hear what you have to teach us tonight.
Thank you, friend. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you for a loop, but what happened? My team is doing a training right now that was from 7 to 7:30. I had somebody else leading it because I wasn't sure if I was going to be home, but they're in my Zoom room. So I logged in through my fake account on my phone because I couldn't get in. And now I'm on my computer and I'm like, okay, now I can share the things that I want to share. So, okay. Yes. Those of you that have met me in person, whatever debacle you just watched, that's pretty par for the course. So I always wonder how I am as high functioning as I am, but to each our own, right? So yes, so Harper was able to give a little bit of kind of what that is. I'm going to give you my basically what I would say in my Say Yes video, which hopefully you guys have gone out and done yours, because how fun would it be to have free conference registration, right? So I joined Pampered Chef because I wanted a deep cover baker. Okay, I was new to the products, so my wish list got huge when I was at a cooking show. I had no idea how to cook, so I was kind of really hoping that with the right tools, I might be able to make sure as my family grew that we had meals around the table. Thanks to Pampered Chef, I've been able to quit my job as a teacher and have a flexible schedule. I love being able to work when and where I want. Being able to do things almost completely from home and almost exclusively from my phone has really allowed me to experience a freedom that's really hard to get with any other career choice. So I'm so glad that I said yes to Pampered Chef, because I have found way more than a deep covered baker. Okay, I was able to find personal development opportunities that I never would have expected. And I've been given the opportunity to develop leadership skills and serve my community while still being fully present with my family. So I really do love what I do. This part is my favorite. So yeah, when Harper was like, hey, I'm like, oh, I really want to get in there. I was like, let's figure it out. So my schedule was a little dicey. So I appreciate the flexibility and stuff that you guys have had with me. Okay, so I'm going to give you, hopefully I'm going to kind of give a rundown, very similar to the types of party training that I'm doing for my team right now. It's not going to be like a combing through, but I'm going to make sure that I get Harper the resources, the boards that I share with my team, the little generic outline I have, and then anything else that she wants, she can have. So if you're like, but she didn't give us the document, you can have whatever it is that you need from me, I'll be able to share. So Harper, just make sure you ask if I don't automatically give it to you. But so I think what's really important to know about different party styles is there are so many different ways to party, and none is wrong. And none is here's the way to find success. What you have to do is figure out, what do you need from the business And how do you go execute that consistently and faithfully and be able to find joy? Like I had a director on my team, like one of my top performers, she was ready to throw in the towel. She was like, I'm done. I'm not liking my business. I'm not enjoying this anymore. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. I think I'm over it. And I'm like, she's earning like a decent income on top. She works full time. So you could tell it was like, well, gall, but I have to find another job because we're used to having X number of extra dollars, right? So I just told her, I go, well, okay, here's the deal though. It just sounds like you're just not liking using the party style you're using. What if you started doing this? What if you started doing like 15-minute parties? Did a few of those and then you were done. And she was like, Like it hadn't occurred to her that instead of throwing in the towel, you just redesign what you want to do. Right. And I want you guys to remember that you have the power to do that. There might be a style that you were trained in. There might be a style that you really found success in. There might be a style that is like, hey, this is what's working, but you don't have to stick with that. Okay. If it's not what's finding you joy. Now she's doing 15-minute express parties. And I keep teasing her saying she's like a girl that's found a new little boyfriend that she just is like talking about all the time, just won't stop talking about it. Okay. She's recruiting, she's booking, like she is so excited. Like she's not a super high sales. And she like was like, Trina, it's the 9th and I have $4,000 in personal sales. Like she was like, I'm kind of like, when do I stop booking parties? Because like this, right? Wouldn't we all like to have that problem? No, I'm not saying that 15-minute express parties is going to give you that much of a difference. But the difference was she found a party style that suddenly she was enjoying. It fit her life. It got her style. She found a system that really, really matched what she wanted out of it. And because she was loving it, recruits were coming, bookings were coming. She was enjoying the work she was doing. She was being consistent with her asks because she was enjoying it, right? So when you find the different party style that is going to match you, I think that matters. Now, I have started doing these again, and I did them a lot last summer, and then I've just kind of like revamped them to try to figure out like, okay, because I've been on table for over a year. It served me well. It's doing great. I really enjoy it. I kind of would rather poke my eye out than go back to a Facebook group. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So like I've loved table, but I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to make another shift again. Something, whether that's for myself or the way that people are going. So I'm like, let me get some more 15-minute parties on my calendar and see how that's going. And I'm really liking them. And I think here is what surprises me. I remember sitting with, because Annalie Heinen, I believe, just does only express parties, right? And I remember her sitting there telling me about them, and like, I think Becky Adams did them for a long time, like all this stuff. And I just remember looking at them being like, that sounds horrible. But it was because the point in my life when like these people were doing them, I was probably breastfeeding at the time. So the thought of like having an hour where I had to show up somewhere at a specific time, that was like really stressful to me. And that time, it's not that my husband was like unsupportive, but he wasn't like really like, oh, you got to work. No worry. You go do your thing. I'll keep the kids out. Like that wasn't happening. Right. So like, it was really hard for me to have that guarded time with the littles and the baby and all the things. And I was like, I just can't do it. Well, my youngest is 5 now. Okay. There's still all the nighttime stuff, but like for the most part, we've gotten through the sports activities. We've gotten through dinner. And I can do a couple 15-minute parties between 7 and 8 while they're like kind of doing their thing, finishing up the night or whatever. Maybe hubby can start bath and then I'm still there to snuggle at night, right? And help put them to bed and do whatever I need to do. So like, depending on what you've got going on is going to be the difference. So the type of people that would enjoy this party style will be people that are able to sit down and kind of be organized at a certain time. Okay, similar to a cooking show. The reason I didn't do cooking shows is because I didn't want to have to be somewhere at a certain day, a certain time, right? Okay, I need the flexibility of virtual. Okay, well, this allows you to be able to do, 3 or 4 parties in one evening. And then guess what? You're pretty done. There's not the constant monitoring. There's not the constant post. You're not like, oh, God, I sure hope I don't get thrown into jail because Facebook didn't see, or, oh, great, nobody saw this post. I better start tap dancing faster. Okay. Again, I did Facebook for a really long time. You can be successful no matter what party style you have. But the reasons why I've shifted because I didn't want to have to deal with like the jumping around. I wanted to have more control over what I have. Now, I do think that 15-minute parties are probably the simplest party form that we have outside of a cooking party where you go in, you make the rush hour fajitas, you take their money and you leave, right? Like, this is what Doris Christopher meant for this to be, right? You go in, you take a frozen pizza, put some fresh veggies on it on the stone, and then you take their money and leave. Like, that's what Doris Christopher planned this business to be for us. But we have turned it into, well, I hope that I created the better video that was edited to get the algorithms to get the what right. Okay, this is what it's kind of turned into. So allowing it to simplify, I think, is really, really helpful. So it requires very little technology knowledge. So if you're someone who's been really, really frustrated with having to learn new technology, one, it's okay to have to learn hard things. You can do it. I promise. If you want to get better at something, you have to learn. There's the teacher in me. Okay. My students used to whine about when their work was hard, and I would go, I am so sorry. You know what? I should have just given you that first grade worksheet. And we could have just walked through that and you would have been done by now. And it would have been so much easier. And you could have stayed. Okay, these were middle schoolers, and you could have stayed with the knowledge of a first grader. Okay, like it would have been easy, but they wouldn't have grown, they wouldn't have learned. So all of that arg, that's you growing, that's you learning, you're going to be better on the other side. But if you're running into the point where you're not finding joy in your business, or you're like, you know what, this just isn't my style to have to do all these tips and tricks. Okay, or you have a brand new consultant you want to onboard with the simplest version of Party. Honestly, this is it. So the way that it works, well, here, let me screen share here. Do I have magical powers, Harper? Yes, I do. Okay. Let me find one. Dun, 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 dun. There's my team. All the things. Okay. If I go to here, let me find Pamela's 15 party. This was one from last week, I think. So all it takes to create the group, okay, if it's ever going to think, hold on, we'll just let it think for that, is you're literally just creating a group message. Okay, so to do that, you just, you have to have 3 people in it. I have an alter ego on Facebook that I created years and years ago when Facebook went bananas. Okay, but I just put my other alter ego, myself, and the host in there, and it creates it. Okay, oops, let's get all the way up to the top. And then I just name it, and then I put an introduction picture of me and like just a little welcome, and that's it. And the party's set up. So no more of this like copying and pasting 14 different things. I mean, you can put more in there if you want for them to look at, but there really isn't a need because it's all going to come out simplified later. Okay. Now, when you're doing, sorry, this is like, you can tell it's like really slow in how it's thinking. Okay. So I've just got this Pamela's 15-minute express party set up. All the host has to do is click the add button after they have received yeses to RSVP. So I give them a message to send out. Only when they get a yes do they click the add button and put the add person in there. Do not let your host just dump everybody in there. I don't even give them access to this group until they've told me they've gotten their first yes. Because when they just dump everybody in here, guess what? People jump out really fast, and then it's really awkward because the people that maybe would have wanted to be in there but don't know why they're in there start seeing everybody leave, and it's kind of like throwing a frog in a pot of boiling water. Everybody just evacuates, even if they wanted to be in the hot tub, they didn't know. Okay, so the host just starts adding them, and when they get added, they're going to see a little welcome to the party picture with me and just a welcome. Tell me if you're a newbie. Okay, it's very similar to probably like, this is very similar to the welcome message that I send people through Project Broadcast when I'm doing table, or the welcome message you probably send people out individually as they're getting into your Facebook party. Okay, so then you'll see she started adding her people. Okay, as people started saying yes, okay, people start responding. She's still adding. Okay, it's going through. Okay, so then I start doing a little bit of pre-party things. Hey, just a little reminder. Here's what's going on. See you tonight. Here's the shopping link if you're ready. And here's the digital catalog. Okay. Another reminder. Hey, for a pre-party raffle. Okay. And then after that, the party will just start right on time. Okay. And then the posts are just numbered. Now I'm going to share this board with you. Oh, I probably went to get into my, if you guys haven't used boards before, it's basically a way to, it's a text replacement app, basically, where the words, and this is not my board, I did not create this, but I think it's a really good place to start. It's what I've been sharing with my team that hadn't done 15-minute parties before. I kind of already had my own thing that I had always done. Okay. But it will share how to get the booking, what to do prior to the party. It'll share what to do on party day, party outline. It's got an after party. Again, some of this is not necessarily the style that I do it, but it'll give you basically the after party stuff is not really my style. I'll share on that in a second. But it'll show you, what to do prior to the party. Okay, how to host coach them, what to tell them, what to have them post on their page. Okay, it'll give you an example of what to put in a party outline. Okay, just real generic things that you can put in there. Okay, how to use things, and it has them posted for you. Okay, it's just real simple. None of this is personalized, so you can use this if you want. Okay, but something that I really love about this is if you like doing reels, okay, they're perfect for in here. So like when I'm posting my things, this kind of stuff is just popping up and my face is all over it.
It's time for a twist. Unexpected, a new direction. Wait and see, it's gonna be a game changer. A game changer. Are you ready for this? It's time for a twist. Unexpected, a new.
My like touchpad on my thing is broken, and so it's like a big pain. Okay, I was going to show you a couple other ones, but I can tell my computer is like losing its mind, honestly, probably because of the storm. But you can personalize it so much, and that's something that I was kind of missing from Table too, because I was really lazy with Table. They did all the work for me. And so I wasn't doing a good job about being consistent about getting my personality in there, right? Okay, I had always had to create all the outlines for myself and give them to my team, right? And this was like home office was like handing me an outline. I was like, this is so nice. Okay. But it was so easy to put in those little reels. So if you're someone who already does social media reels and things like that, you can insert them in here so easily. Your personality is in there, which is going to up the know, like, and trust factor. And I'm telling you, like, you do not need very many posts. I think I only have 8 posts because that's how fast it goes. Okay. Now, the way that you're going to want to set that up is when you create your outline, whether you're using boards or whether you're creating your own content saying, hey, I'm going to figure out 8 posts or whatever that looks like. Okay. Is message it to yourself. If you didn't know you can message yourself on Messenger, you can. I send myself little notes all the time. Okay, of things that I want to be able to find later, links that I want to be able to find, because I know there's not going to be conversation going back and forth. Okay, but I message everything to myself first. That way the videos upload. I don't have to worry about load time. I've got the content. I've got everything there. I've got all the specials for marketing imagery that would be updated. I've got all of that ready to go. Because then what I can do is I can just forward it to the party group when it's time. So I will be on my phone looking at either my past party to forward or the content that I message to myself if I'm doing a new outline to myself. Okay. And I forward from my phone to the new party. And then I monitor on my computer for the chit chat and interaction. You do not need to have 2 devices. So if you're going, Trina, I only have my phone, you can do it that way. It's just, you don't have, I like not having to toggle. I don't have to flip or screen. I just know, oh, we're on this post forward. And then I can, oh yeah, aren't the salad choppers amazing? They should rename them chicken choppers, right? And then I'm like, we're chatting and then I'm like, okay, they're ready for the next post. And I forward those. And then they're, I'm able to see that they're commenting. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't know the Mix and Chop had a sister named the Spatula. Yeah, it came out. It's so new. Isn't it great? Make sure you grab one. Okay. Like I can easily do that as you're going back and forth. I would recommend keep it to 15 minutes. Like when you send it to yourself, how long does it take to actually go through, read, and look? Because you've promised them quick and easy, right? So if your 15-minute party goes into 28 minutes, like that's significant, right? That's a big difference. So being able to keep that, people can go back and look at it later. I do a drawing for, I put in my Google Slip there at the end for them to be able to fill out. So I'm, incentivizing people that are there live. Hey, I'll do a drawing from everyone that fills this out tonight, and something from orders that come in, to be able to make that interaction. But because the content is so personalized, hopefully they've gotten to know, like, and trust me. And then the after party can start where I start doing my messages. Okay, so hopefully they've gotten about 20 people into the group, so you can start doing some messages. And again, you got to kind of play with the Facebook, algorithms again, or playing with getting into their other folder. My friend Stephanie, I'm going to start doing this. She plays a game the day of. Her pre-party game is private message me your favorite picture from the week to get into our pre-party drawing. I'm like, oh, that's fun, because everybody's got a picture of their kids or their dog or their food or their, whatever that they've taken. And so she's able to get them to private message them to open up communication. So when she starts the booking messages or the everybody's a winner or whatever she's going to do, that line of communication is already open. And she's able to like start getting to know them a little bit, like, oh my word, are your kids? Are those your grandkids? Like, they're so cute. Oh, you're a, fur mama. How long have you had that puppy? Okay, whatever it is, right? Being able to make that connection with them and help them feel validated is going to make them want to connect with you even more. Okay, so then being able to do that. Now, I personally have been doing, I revived, anybody doing Pampered Chef games long enough? Do you remember? I used to always do Deal or No Deal. Did anybody do that? Okay, and it was so funny. It popped up in something when I was searching, and I was like, oh, I used to love doing Deal or No Deal. And they would like message like boxes. Like I would have pictures of boxes, and they could pick up to 3. They could say like no deal and go on to the next box. Now, some of them are prizes outright, like a free Season's Best. Okay, like I keep cutting mats, Season's Best, and pan scrapers on hand all the time because they're easy for me to mail out. Some of the prizes I do are like a free, like what I did, I think, a free pizza crust when you order a stone. Did you know it's actually 50 cents cheaper to order the pizza set than it is to just order the pizza stone? So I'm not even giving them anything. So okay, so I'm just like, there's like, I look real cool. Okay. So there's, reasons for things like that. Sometimes I do, like I'm taking into account, okay, if they actually do this, would I be willing to pay the difference? Or like one, I did like the rapid prep mandolin, order the rapid prep mandolin and get the veggie peeler and the seasoning salt for free. Okay. Well, that's just the French fry kit. So there's already a discount there with those 2 items. So I maybe like, I think it's like a $9 price or something like that for me. But if they ordered that, that's like $80. So I made $16 off the, right. Okay. Do the math. Okay. But, and then some of them are like book a party and get X, Y, and Z. Okay. Because I'm using it as a booking game and as a fun interaction game. Okay. And then I think it really builds a lot of credit. Like I just had someone that they said no to the booking one. They said no to the purchase one. And then they got a free cutting mat. And then I went back to ask for the booking because I didn't ask them for a booking. They just picked a case that had a booking price. Right. So I went back, she totally booked. And honestly, I sat there and I think that probably the credit of me just handing her a prize for playing probably happened. If you've done cooking shows, think like people that were there, we would play a game and I would hand them a prize for my bucket without strings attached, right? They just, thank you for coming and being part of the party. Here you go. Okay. So, just make sure that you're, thinking about what those prizes or what that might look like. But I do that to go in, and then in the party message the day after, I let them know, okay, like the after party started. And you guys know like the m.me trick. If you do m.me / whatever your Facebook profile name is, if you put that in there and they click on it, it will go immediately to the message that you sent them. They don't have to go find their other folder. Okay. So I put that on like, hey, we started a game, check your private messages to see an after party to see if you won anything for me. Here's the, here's the easiest way to find the message if it's there. And then that helps them find, again, if they haven't private messaged you earlier, to get out of the link to be able to have some that back and forth game. Okay. And you will have some people that are like, I don't know if I want to play because they think there are strings attached. I won't lie. Whoever made that board They play the game, and you can choose to do your own, but I don't like it. They choose to play the game that's like, do you want to play? If you get book a party, you have to do the party. You guaranteed, you said, you promised. I hate games like I don't like those. They feel icky. I don't want to trick someone into doing a party. Like, I'll incentivize, but I'm not going to be like, ha, I trapped you. Who wants that kind of host? I remember being at a physical party and the girl played that game. And the gal was like, pick the envelope, and she opened it. She goes, ah, shoot. And it was like, you won the grand prize. You get to book your own party. And she like, can you imagine getting a host going, oh, I lost. I got the book party one. I don't like it. I don't like it. So teach their own, whatever. It's fine. That's just not how I run my business. Okay. So if you see that in there and go, oh, does Trina do that? Hard pass. No, thank you. But someone else does. So okay, hopefully that I love Angela's. I love table 2. I would rather put my out than go back to Facebook. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense as far as like, if you're thinking like, what does this look like? And I totally went over time. Sorry, Harper. I'm like all over the place with it. But like, you're going to create an outline, short, personalized. You're going to message it to yourself. Then you're going to forward it in the party. You're going to make sure your host actually got RSVPs and only adds those people. Okay. And then you have your little tank of things to go through. I track paper and pencil. Like I have a notebook and I write everybody that ordered, and then I write everybody that's still in the group. And then I just track, like, did they win a pan scraper? Did they play the game with me? Have they not messaged me? Did I send them the order link? Did I ask them for a booking? Like, I'm just tracking on paper and pencil, but it's pretty manageable because you're unlike a regular Facebook party where you've got like, 50 people in there that maybe never even saw anything. You have, a dozen to 20 people probably that like responded back a verbal, yes, I want to be part of this. And so it's a little bit easier to track. I think your leads are a little bit warmer than necessarily what you're used to. Okay. I know that was kind of fast. That's a lot without looking at the resources. I know that can be kind of tricky. But what questions do you have for me?
So I wanted to let you guys know before you guys ask a question. I know it's been 2 years since we've done this, but I wanted to let you know that there is a training on Team PC Hotshots on boards. So if you're like, I don't know what boards are, I don't know how to do a board. Okay. So she was talking about boards and how to use them. I just bumped to the top of the page on Team PC Hotshots that training. Okay, so it's a very, very useful training too. And boards is an amazing resource. So those of you that remember this training, it was very good. So don't worry about trying to figure out, what boards, what she's talking about, okay? Because there is a training on that, so you don't have to worry about asking her a bunch of questions about boards. So
good call. Good call. And I just put the boards link for the shared one. Like I said, I'll get these to Harper too. The first link is one to an Evernote that basically gives like a generic, here's what a party looks like. So if you're like, I've never used boards and I don't want to learn it, then use this one. Okay. The one that's a little bit more in-depth and relevant and updated is going to be what you're going to find in boards if you do know how to use that. But either one will get you where you're wanting to go. You're welcome.
what questions do you guys have for Trina?
Now's the time to pick brains. I know I feel like that was all over the place because she asked me yesterday and I have been like going ever since. I like jotted down a few notes, but I was like, nope. I was like, what do they need from me for this? Nothingness. It was everything they needed and more.
No questions, guys?
Or they're all going hard pass. I never want to do that. So I have no questions to learn more. What are the time frames you use for reminders when you do the after party? Oh, okay. No, good question. So a lot of my party for my personal schedule, Monday nights have been working for me because I already have a training call at 7:30. So if I already have to be there, I might as well do some parties at 7 and maybe some parties at 8, right? So then I'm always only sitting at my computer for one evening. So I've been doing like I have my hosts are inviting starting now. They'll do the party on Monday. Okay. Everybody will be in there. We'll start doing the party on Monday. I'd start doing the after party and like reaching out to all of them on Tuesday. And I tell my host that we're going to wrap up by Friday. I tell people, because the Deal or No Deal could go on for forever, and some of them are like order blah blah and get right. So I want them to like get through that quickly. I tell them if they have not responded to that, the Deal or No Deal game expires on, and I give them like an expiration date. So like for me, I like by Friday it's done. Okay, so if they haven't responded back and done anything like that with me, like that's done. Because then over the weekend or on Friday, when I'm going in and sending all of the booking messages to start getting my bookings, I don't want them to start playing Deal or No Deal. Now I'm just like trying to get a booking. Right, like they missed it. Okay, they had their chance. I went in twice usually, and the thing like, hey, don't forget your deals are going to expire. Go look for the message for me. Okay, but that allows me to get in there. How do you find the host? Any different way to get 15-minute hosts? Okay, so here's my advice. People will party the way that you tell them you party. Like I've been on table for a year. Do you think that I ask them how they would like to party, or do I just start telling them how to invite to table? Okay, like I just like, sorry, if you want to party with me, this is how I do it. Now, you might not want to be exclusively 15 minutes. Like I have been like, sometimes like I've been like, hey, I've got this style or this style. Which would you like? Okay. But like my parties, because especially because I'm going to be gone for spring break, I was like, honestly, I don't want to deal with week-long parties this time. I just like this month. I just want to only do 15-minute ones because that's the way that my schedule is right now. I'm coaching volleyball right now. My kids have a busy school stuff. Like we've got a lot of team trained. Like there was a lot going on. And then for those, I started being like, hey, you know what? I know that you are so busy. My hosts have been loving this 15-minute style, and it's the simplest form for my hosts. Do you have a 15-minute pocket of time next week that we could use instead of doing it all week long? Okay. And they're like, oh yeah, I can definitely do, like Thursday at 7:30. Sure. Okay. Because it's the simplest form for your host. Your host's job is going to be to invite. Okay. Just click the add button when she gets yeses. I'm going to have her send out one more like, hey, wanted to make sure you saw my invite to get more people in, right? Hopefully she shows up to the party, but honestly, it doesn't even matter if she does. Okay. Like I had one gal that Harper has heard the stories of all of my whatever. She's like, my 20-year-old nephew just coded twice. He's in the ICU, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be okay. It was like 2 hours before the party. I was like, oh my word, you go take care of your family. And on the side of possibly sounding insensitive, I just went into the group, said, hey guys, say a prayer for Renee's family. They had a family emergency. I'll still connect with you guys, but she won't be showing up tonight. She's going to go take care of her family. So that they weren't like, that's weird. Why didn't she show up? Like they knew. And I still went in and partied because it wasn't affecting all of their lives. They still wanted to buy Pamper Jeff. He ended up with a $600 party. Like I wasn't trying to be mean, right? But I was still able to get her some freebies. How did I not realize this? Thank you. The party tables part. Oh yes. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, Rainer, you need to talk to yourself different. It's not like I took all the hosts in the world. Okay, love you, don't know you. Okay, but here's the deal. I promise you, you have not asked every human being that you have come into contact with. There is a host out there. I'm sorry. I had 15 parties and I had 10 cancellations, and the rest of them were honestly even kind of poopy, and I'm still in business. You'll be fine. Okay, I promise you. Like I said, all of my cancellations and stuff, they were like legit, you have got to be joking reasons. Like I just gave you about my cousin coded, or my nephew coded, and he ended up passing away. Okay, like the legit reasons are like people are dealing with crazy things. They just are. Okay, our business can carry on through them. That doesn't mean that we're insensitive. Like I am so excited to send her a little card, right? Like in the mail, like some encouragement, like you can go out and be human while you do business. Imagine if you asked, well, here, okay, ready? I'll get personal. I'm probably like totally commandeering your meeting right now. Okay. But I remember I'm usually pretty open about this. So I had a miscarriage years ago. And I remember the next day I was still cramping and things like that from it. And I remember having to go to the post office, and I was holding this stack of packages. And I just remember looking at everybody and kind of being really angry that I was so sad and so upset and going through so much, and everybody was just going through life, right? Including myself being at the stupid post office holding packages, right? Like, you do not know what people are going through. And if you ask them enough and they open up enough, you're going to find deep, dark, sad things. Doesn't mean that everything is deep and dark and sad, but people are going through things. But it's okay to continue working your business through those things. It's okay to continue doing things even though other people are going through dark places. Okay, you've got to be able to go through the trials and go through the things so that you are not totally lost. How do you keep it to 15 minutes when people are chatting? Do you post the next thing even if, yes. Jennifer, once they start chatting, that lets me know that they've seen the video, so I send it. Like if they're like, oh my word, that was so cool, bloop, next thing. And people typically don't chat a ton during it. And then I let them know, like, I let them know after they've sent the messages, I let them know like, okay, hey, I'm going to be around for a few minutes. If you have more questions, let me know, or you can private message me. Or like if they've said some things earlier in the day that I haven't gotten to, like, oh, I just hate meal prepping, or I'm looking for a good knife. After it's all done, then I'll like tag them with like recommendations so that those are popping out afterwards too. But the party part is done. Picture like a cooking show where you've done the demo and now people can like hand you their order and leave. But it's not like you had to leave or that like you weren't allowed to go talk to someone else in that moment, right? Or like in the living room, but like the portion where they committed to is done and over.
Trina, do you have, since you just started kind of doing some again, do you have a message? Now, Tammy, to answer your question first, like this style party is going to be great for those people who are like, I don't know, I just am so busy right now. I just don't have the time. Like, then it's, well, that's, it's great because I have this totally new party style I'm trying, that's only 15 minutes, but that's where those kind of bookings are going to be coming from people that just don't have the time. And you're like, okay, well, you do have 15 minutes because we have this, party style. It's only one night for 15 minutes, and you can get this, mixer for $159. So,
Right.
But okay, here's.
So that I just copied and pasted this one. This is from, that one is from Boards. This is like a post that you could do. This is the
That one, I just
message.
copied it myself.
Yeah, this is the message then that you would send to people that were interested. That would be the message you would send. So that'll give you guys some ideas of it. But then, and I'll try to send Harper, I'll send you whatever, because I'm like, oh, what am I sending all of my people? But I think it's just basically sending the same thing, only it's not table. It's just, 15-minute express party. And remember, once you get a party, like, it's not like anybody's like, when you have the party and you're asking those guests, it's not like they're confused because they were just in it, right? You don't have to explain what the party is anymore.
So here, guys, if you guys can see that little white right there, that's what the boards looks like. It's white and all it says is black boards. Okay, so that's what the app looks like. Oh, you're talking, but I can't hear you.
It's because I'm yelling at my middle child.
Okay, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, you're
Nope. Yelling at Melody, but it wasn't you.
Her daughter's name is Melody too.
Too funny.
Okay, any other questions? Does anyone think this is going to be a useful style party that you're going to try out? Amy says, love it.
I'm absolutely going to try it.
I
think
it's a long
It's going to be awesome.
It was like caught your words, so it was like absolutely. She's stoked about it. She's got it.
Yep.
And just encourage, like, there's nothing wrong with like ebbing and flowing. Like, there was a time in my life where I did a billion vendor events. There was a time in my life I did a bunch of kids in the kitchen workshops, freezer meal workshops, cooking parties, Facebook parties. I did Squee for a hot minute, table, like, I don't know, like whatever was going in. And that's the beauty of this business. The more tools you can put in your tool belt, nobody can stop you. Okay, right? Like if you know how to do table and Facebook shuts down tomorrow, it puts you in jail, no big deal. Just we're partying in the living room instead of the kitchen, I guess. Okay, like if you like, like, okay, like you can pivot and do things because you and your business and your guests are going to need different things as you go through. Like I've been doing this for over a decade. I can't possibly think that what I needed, okay, as a 29-year-old is the same thing that I need as a 39-year-old, as I'm going to need when I'm a 59-year-old. Like it's not logical to think that I'm going to need and want the same exact thing.
And
Okay.
Monica, I love that because there have been a lot of things that I may not have had success with the first time, but tried it again and tried it maybe a little bit different, tweaked it to what works for me, and had more success with it the second time. So that's a lot of things. I hated virtual parties when I first Trina knows, I hated them with every ounce of my being. And now like I have done a cooking show in the last 3 years, but that's all I used to want to do. And so like it's crazy how in different times you want to do different things. So just because something may not have worked for you at one time, I mean, times are different. A lot of things have changed in the last couple of years. So definitely give it a try, or at least be willing to have this as an option, because this style will work for a lot of people because it's short, it's sweet, and it works for, a lot of the consultants too, just because they don't necessarily have the time to go in and check parties multiple times.
Well, and think about like, if you're going for a goal, like say you get to the end of the month, and you're like, shoot, I really wanted level 2 summer products. I don't have time for you don't have time, but you sure have time to put together a 15-minute party, right? Like having this in your tool belt for some of those, I was really working to promote to director, but I don't have time to get my new recruit launched and get her whole week long. She sure has time for a 15-minute launch. Okay. It allows you to have that flexibility to be like, what else can I pull out to make sure that I get to that? And yeah, I love that. Like you might have not found success, but like figure out what was your secret sauce missing. Because like I'll have people with Table and be like, well, Table doesn't work. And then I find out they didn't not once did they text message a human. They just put people in there and hope that money would be thrown at them and Table would take all the things, and just, they never even look. And they're just like, I don't see, this doesn't work. This is stupid. We didn't do anything. We didn't talk to anybody. Same thing with 15-minute parties. You're like, oh, well, I did those, but I never did all that private messaging she just talked about. I didn't do the game. I didn't send a picture, have them send a picture and have her, do that. I never put my face in the party. I never did a reel. I never thought, right. Okay. All of those things, figure out someone that is having success with it and figure out what piece of the recipe are you missing? Okay. Because sometimes people will be like, I'm following the recipe. I'm doing it. I'm making the bread. Well, you don't have any yeast. Of course your bread isn't turning out. Like that's how we act sometimes in our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Tammy, for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, friend, I went like way over. I was like, I'll do like 20 minutes of this and then 10 minutes of questions. I commandeered 15 more minutes of your meeting.
You are good, friend. It's all good.
You shouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you don't need anything else, I'm going to go hunt down my children that are knocking on my door.
All right. Well, thank you, friend. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'll send those resources for you to make sure that you can get them to everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, friends.
Bye. Okay. Love me some Trina. So anything else that when it comes to these 15-minute parties that you want to talk about before we switch gears here for a few minutes? Anything else that anyone wants to say about 15-minute parties? So I did, like I said, I did post if you want to, boards is pretty simple, guys. Like literally it's downloading an app. I have the boards that once you download the app and then you click on the link that she just said, it says, do you want to download this board? Yep. And it puts it right on your boards. So then when you want to pull it up, it basically just pulls up all that information. So it's just an easy way to have like basically a document of information. So it's just easy text replacement type stuff and have everything kind of all together. You can share boards easily with each other, like whole documents like that. It's just on a thing. But also, if you don't want to mess with the boards, she sent the Evernote link too. And that's just another way to do a document that has it all written out. too. So just a couple different ways. You can look at both of them. They may be a little bit different. You can pull and say, okay, I like the idea from that. I'll take the idea from that, and you can make your own little thing. So sometimes I like to use my notes on my phone and copy and make my own thing. So how she was talking about having her phone up and working the party on her phone, but watching it, on the computer. I think that's a great idea to kind of have the two different resources there. So I hope all of you saw the message, about the cup slicer, that they are running low on the inventory, but they are not doing stop sell with it, or the tongs. So they're going to keep them available. They're going to keep it open. So guys, continue to sell those, okay? Because they are going like hotcakes, okay? If you have people that need to be active and have 150 in sales, oh my gosh, that one post that I did yesterday or the day before that said I've been challenged to sell 10 of those. Well, that's $250 in sales. And people are doing that in a day. Okay. So if, you have goals that you're trying to get, and you're trying to reach your 150 in sales, be sure that you are sharing that, because I shared that and got them, without even, they're not even necessarily seeing it in action, and they're buying it. And then if you saw the video that I posted of me just quickly doing, some grapes the other day, I sold 6 just from that video, like instantly. People were reaching out to me. Okay. So I haven't even done like the kid challenge where my child tries to do it and I'm cutting with a knife, like boom, like we'll see how many I get to sell with that one. Okay. So just try, if you have that cup slicer, be sure that you pull it out and use it, guys, because people want to see it. They are buying it. They are loving it. So don't miss out on selling that. Okay. So be sure that you are sharing it, because people are even booking for it. It's only a $25 item, but people are still booking for that. And people are booking for the mixer too. Okay. So be sure that you are sharing about the mixer as well. And if you're needing some booking wording, I posted that. It's pinned in the feature section of Team PC Hotshots. Okay. So if you're needing some booking wording, there's some booking and there's some recruiting wording. Okay. So, has anyone made their video yet? Their Say Yes video about why they started Pampered Chef? Anyone made one yet?
I have my ideas all put together, so now I just have to get the video going.
Okay, I'm excited to see some of your Say Yes videos. So if you see the hashtag Say Yes on, Team PC Hotshots, that's what we're using for our hashtag this month. But Pampered Chef is just really encouraging us to step out and share why we started Pampered Chef. Okay, and we're going to be doing an opportunity event on Sunday. Okay, on Sunday evening. And we are going to invite anyone that you can think of that would like some information. And we're going to do it a little bit different. Instead of doing a bunch of posts and stuff, we're going to actually share a Zoom link. Okay, and we're going to invite and share the Zoom link where people can hop in and they can hear from us personally the benefits of the business and what we love, and hear kind of our Say Yes to the apron. So if you have people that are interested, it's going to be a great way to share and let people know, because there is a 25% off discount off of any of the kits this month. Okay, so it's a great time for them to start Pampered Chef. But with the hashtag Say Yes videos, it is just a little bit about your story, just kind of like you heard Trina do it in the beginning. When she started this call, she just did her little short Say Yes video. And basically it is why you started Pampered Chef and what you love about it. Does not have to be long, doesn't have to be anything crazy. Some of us started because we love the products. Some of us started because we wanted extra money. Some of us started because the thoughts of trips, earning a trip excited us. Whatever the reason, whether it was for your family because you wanted to earn money, to help out your family, whatever your reason was, that's what we want to share. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you. And if you make one, please post it on Team PC Hot Shots, because we would love to see it and see your reason behind why you said yes to Pampered Chef. Okay. So, I would love to see some of those. And, if you do end up making one and you are not available to be on the call on Sunday night, I may have you share that so I can even share some of those on the call for the opportunity event. So, as we guys, it is only the 9th of March. Do you have any idea how many? There's still 3 weeks left in March. We're at the beginning. Okay. So please know there is so much time in this month to have success, to book some of these 15-minute parties. Okay. To sell some of those cup slicers. There's so much time in this month. Okay. We have only begun. So just know that the new catalog is awesome. It's great. And I love when we kick off a new, and it just feels like it's just a new opportunity. It's a new beginning, is how I kind of look at each catalog. And people are excited about this catalog. They're excited about these products. So I hope you guys are excited as well. So the key, and also Reels. And see, that's another training that Trina could do on is Reels training. But I've even heard from people like, how'd you learn to do Reels? I Googled it. Oh, okay. Like, you don't know how to do a reel? Google how to make a reel, and it will tell you how to make a reel. Okay. So, I mean, literally, that's what I'm hearing from some people. I'm like, well, how did you learn how to make a reel? I Googled it and I learned how, so there's not a huge science to it. So, but making a reel training, that may be something else that we offer this month too. So you can see that, because they're not, that difficult, but they are really beneficial, and people love just little short videos. And then you can take those little short videos and you can put them in your 15-minute parties, just like she showed you, just a little short video. Okay. So, I don't want Trina to have to do another training, but I may find another friend that would be willing to come do a short training on how to make a reel, if you guys would be interested in that as well. So, any other questions for anything that we've talked about? Okay, I'm gonna do a drawing, and I want Monica, give me a number between 1 and 23.
17.
Elsie, are you on here? Oh, Elsie, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm on here.
Yay. Okay, Elsie, you are the winner.
Oh, yay.
So Elsie, can you will you message me your address, and I'm going to get you some Happy Meal in the mail.
Sure.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to keep this to an hour, and we pretty much did that. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to let you go this evening. But if you want to watch that board training, it's right at the top of Team PC Hot Shots. Okay, you guys are welcome to that, but it really isn't too difficult, but you are feel free to go watch that. I will also, once Trina gets me the documents, I'll be posting all of those with the recording for this. Okay, so if you need to go back and watch any thing that she shared also. So, but thank you guys for being on here. Let's make March great. Guys, we have every opportunity to make a great month, and be looking for more information about the opportunity event on Sunday. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.